Prom-in followers, this is Martina speaking, and we are like very honored to welcome here Charles Poliquin, the strength coach, the trainer of Olympic and professional athletes. He published several books, and he is also promoter of German volume training.
Yeah.
We are very pleased to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
We would like to ask you, like very frequent question lately is what to eat before training if the training is focused on hypertrophy, and what to eat, how long before training to eat it to support the
anabolic process.
Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is that you want to make sure that your brain is active before training. So you want to have foods that have a lot of precursors to dopamine and acetylcholine. So usually it's meats and nuts. That would be the first thing before a workout. So what it will do is it will raise your blood sugar very slowly, and it will be constant throughout the workout. The worst thing you could eat, for example, and you see it in bodybuilding magazines, would be oats and bananas, which makes your blood sugar go up, but then it goes down and you make serotonin, which you want to fall asleep. So that's why people take a lot of stimulants before training when you eat that crap. So if you stick to meats and nuts, it's probably the best for anabolism.
Thank you very much. And other following question would be what to eat after the training. What would you recommend is best?
Well, you know, the thing is, how fat are you and how lean do you want to be?
Okay.
So carbohydrates, you have to deserve them. So if you're lean and you want to put muscle mass on, carbohydrates is your best friend post-workout. And then there's no problem making serotonin because you've spent your energy in the gym. Some people do better with fast carbohydrates, let's say like brown spotted bananas, or some people do better with oats and quinoa and whatever. But that's something that you have to experiment with. But if you measure your body fat regularly, then you can figure out after a while, should I use slow carbohydrates or fast carbohydrates?
Okay. If there was like chance for you to give us like 5 tips that you really feel like people should stick to when doing bodybuilding or fitness, what would it be?
Stop bringing your iPhone to the gym. I mean, people, I find a new generation, you know, they record things that will never matter. Okay, so I tell people, if you want to show me what you lifted, if it's not 96% of the world record, I'm not interested. So people, the new generation is fixated on selfies. So number one, no phone in the gym. I think they should be illegal in the gym, right? So you know, if you're going to record something that's good, because it takes away from concentration of the task to do. Number two is people go to the gym and you ask them, why are you at the gym? I want to get jacked. Well, fuck, define jacked. So you have to have a goal for how much muscle mass you want to put on, how much body fat you should lose. So if you're very clear on how much muscle mass and body fat you want to change, that's better. Also, what people should do is if they're trying to gain mass, they should have an objective for 8 major lifts for 6 reps. So for example, if you're squatting 70 kilos, well, if you want to get jacked in the legs, you probably need to do 140 for 6. So you should have a goal for 6 reps in that, and then you want to improve your overhead press. If you're pressing 60 kilos, you know, I got big shoulders, so let's say 90 kilos for 6, and pick a lift per body part. So that would be my second tip. Number 3 is that I'll tell people, it's like, well, what's your goal? So if people say, I want to get jacked, but I want to do squash 3 days a week, and I want to run 10 kilometers 6 days a week. Well, it's not going to happen. So you got to pick your goals. And I think people pick too many goals. So in the physique, 2 goals is enough. Okay. You should have long-term goals, medium goals, and short-term goals. Short-term goals is today. So today I'm going to do this. Medium goal, I like a month, and long-term, I like a year. Okay. But it's like the old thing. If I want to eat an elephant, what's the best way to do it? 1 bite at a time. So people, you need to know what the goal is. Habit number 4 that would increase muscle mass is sleep. Sleep is actually the only thing naturally that has a huge impact on testosterone. So if you're still on Facebook at 3 in the morning and you want to train at 8 in the morning, fucking never gonna grow. Okay, so you got to pick that. Tip number 5 for muscle mass is actually being regular in eating patterns. If you ask an old timer like Bill Starr, which unfortunately has passed away, or anybody, you basically have to be a monk. So every 2.5 hours you eat. Some people say it's not true, but they do studies on stamp collectors that are 11 years old. There's a big difference between a university student who wants an extra 10% on his college course and somebody that really wants to put muscle mass. I found that people who want to put on muscle mass, minimum is 5 meals a day, but I prefer 7. And I find that when people go from 5 to 7, it's like exponential on how much they gain.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
The last question would be if you could choose between counting reps and counting the time under the tension, which one would you go for?
It's a combination of both. So for hypertrophy, if you look at the 70% of the time, your sets should last between 40 to 70 seconds. 15% of the time, you could go as much as 2 minutes, and 15% of the time, 20 to 40 seconds, if hypertrophy is your goal. Mm-hmm. And that's very important.
That was very clear.
Yes.
Okay, last thing we had prepared for you are some Q&As.
Yes.
So I would like to get as quick as possible, the answer as quick as possible. So first would be, what's your favorite source of protein?
Yak.
Okay.
It's a type of wild meat, but that's my favorite one. And the second one is bison.
Okay. Would you go for split or full body training?
I'm much into split training. The guys who advocate total body training, they look like this. So you look at anybody that's ever gone big, they all do split training.
Okay. Fasting before exercise or not?
No. If you look at the research, it completely destroys your muscle goals. So, and then brain function is super important in strength training. If you're unmotivated, I'm against intermittent fasting. There is not a single animal that will fast, okay, unless they're sick, okay. So we are designed, one of the reasons why we live longer than their ancestors is the fact that we have access to food, okay? So intermittent fasting is one of those bullshit trends, and I tell people, fuck, show me the evidence. How many Olympic athletes do you coach? I coach Olympic medals in 22 different sports.
Yeah.
And I'm against intermittent fasting. I think it's a bullshit CrossFit cult element that's been brought into the fitness industry. I know I'm holding back, but you know.
I get it. Another one would be, what's your favorite exercise?
As a kid, I really liked power snatch and I really liked overhead press.
Okay. And the last one, would you be for a golden era or the modern bodybuilders physics?
No, golden era.
Golden era.
To me, a good physique was Schwarzenegger. Nowadays, they look like over-bloated gorillas. Yeah. So the golden era, I think, has to come back. But now with excess use of insulin and stuff, I don't think the physiques are very appealing. But I'm old school.
The last question, which is actually not prepared, but has to come, is that I've heard that you tried some things from Prom-in.
Yes.
And you liked something. So what was that and why?
What I really like is actually protein bars. Most protein bars taste like Barsol. It's good to remove rust on a weightlifting bar. And the biggest advantage of the Prom-in protein bars is they're actually designed to maintain blood sugar. Most protein bars on the market create insulin spikes, and that's not good, because why do you eat a protein bar? You want to eat a protein bar because you don't have access to a meal, okay? And if I tried them out the last time I was here in Czech Republic, and my assistant asked me to bring him back 4 boxes, and but the quality of the ingredients is good, but what it does to the glycemic curve is good. If I were to guesstimate what's a glycemic curve, I would say it's about 32 to 36. So that's really good. Another thing is that the protein industry for protein bars is not well regulated. So if you test American bars, you might as well eat a Snickers. People say, oh, they taste good. Yeah, fuck it, Snickers taste great too, right? So as opposed to these bars, they actually taste good, but not because they're sweet, but because they've done some research on their chemistry, obviously. But that's a very good product, yes.
Thank you very much. We are very pleased to steal a little bit of your time and to get inspired and motivated from such a huge person like you are. Thank you very much. We wish you best of luck, and I hope you guys will follow, like, and get inspired. Thank you.
Thank you very much.